You're listening to Into the Twilight, an independent, listener-supported show. Subscribe at patreon.com/intothetwilight for monthly bonus episodes, weekly shoutouts, a Patreon-only book club, and more. Thanks for support, and now, on with the show.
Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
I think that it is important for us to address right off the bat. I know that we are on opposing sides regarding the scary teeth things. And this show does cover supernatural creatures.
Sure, yeah.
Those are cryptids.
We have love in our heart for cryptids, for spooky things, for little scary guys,
Right. And I agree. We are in agreement on that. Yes.
Sure. Yeah. But this one in particular.
Listen, I know. Hi, welcome into Twilight. I know that you love trinkets. Okay. And I never want to deny you joy.
Sure.
From a trinket.
Sure.
Like, if there's one thing that you all need to know about Cody, it's like Tamagotchi.
Sure.
The little ones with their dicks out, right?
Right. Yep. Totally.
That's their brand name, by the way. Copyrighted.
Official. Little babies with their dicks and butts out.
And the freaky Labubus that all of the moms go on live on TikTok that I see opening them. All the moms on TikTok and then also Vanilla Maze. So here's the thing. Love whimsy. Love that this is now the new thing a la the minis that people were opening from Target, right?
Sure.
What the fuck is up with the teeth? That's my thing, right?
Yeah, the teeth are gnarly.
Why does it look like it's gonna bite my ankles?
Yeah, it does look like if you aren't, making direct eye contact with or, have an eye on them.
It's an elf on the shelf, Cody. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't leave them unattended, I feel like, because who knows? There's a nasty spirit in there.
And listen, if that's not the energy of this year, right? It's very appropriate.
Yeah.
And I honor that and I respect that.
Sure.
It's just the teeth that I struggle with.
She's a little monster. She's a little scary monster.
And fuck my drag, right? Here's me being like, Nosferatu can get it, and I'm drawing the line at Labubu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
stand up.
You know what I mean? I get it. It's the pot calling the kettle black. I get it. It's just, I'm afraid that if I blink, it's going to move.
Yeah.
That's my fear. And then I'm a little scared there. I might change my mind. I'm open to changing my mind.
I'm 17 and I'm afraid of Labubu.
No, literally. It's just me, the old person yelling at clouds. It's just me. I also did see a TikTok of someone saying they spent $1,000 trying to find one. And
yeah, see, that's nuts, right?
Did we not do this with Beanie Babies, folks?
Right. Have we not learned our lesson? You gotta do what Nicole and I did, was to go to a shop that is literally across the street from us, which are obviously selling very fake ones, and get that shit and just have a good time.
Okay, now here's the thing. I heard someone say, I'm so glad that we have someone from a different generation so I can ask these questions instead of just shouting them out my window.
Sure, yeah.
Hi, 7-year-old going by. I have a question for you. And they're like, which? I heard someone say the fake ones are called lafufus. Is that real?
It is real. Yeah. They have their own, cult status because, there are different kinds of, how fucked up they get. Or, how, you know what I mean? And also because it's so hard to get, a real one. Now that it's the boom, the bubble has burst, right? Yeah. So now it's everything is lafufu a little bit.
I accidentally ended up in a live with 8,000 people of someone who was saying they were going to be selling them. just because I wanted to understand, right? You know, like, I'm an
Sure.
anthropologist.
Right, yeah. I'm tapped in to the culture.
I like to stay aware of the culture,
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people were in there being like, give them to us, you know, they were the little babies in Toy Story being like, the claw. Then they dropped 3 for 8,000 people in this live.
That's nuts.
So I get it. I'm interested. I'll never buy any. I'm just a little scared that if you put water on them, they will kill you, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be a little gremlin situation. Yeah, I feel that for sure.
As someone who went through the Furby craze originally, and
Yeah.
that shit moved without batteries in it, I'm not doing this
Yup.
again. You know what I mean? Especially now
Yeah.
when it's like, I know what our technology can do, you know, and it is owned by
Right.
the government. So, like, I can't.
Right. I'm good, actually. Thank you.
I'm actually so good. But I do respect the cryptids, you know?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
So keep me updated, you know?
Yeah. Any hot breaking developments in the Labubu space, I'm locked in. I'm tapped in.
Yeah, if it does start to, like, morph and change on you, I'll happily record a podcast with it, I
Yeah.
guess.
If this podcast very suddenly stops airing, you know what happened.
It just becomes a fucking Blair Witch project.
Yeah. This is lost media. This is found footage. Like, you know what to do.
It's the only appropriate way for this to end. It was
Yeah.
either a Labubu or Mothman. Like, that's the only 2 ways, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, those are our exit strategies.
No, there's 2 ways. It's Labubu, Mothman, or Steph finally cuts us a check and we move to the
Yeah.
woods.
Yep.
That's it. So welcome to Twilight. How
Ayo.
are you?
I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
living. Probably haunted by a Labubu. Who knows?
You
Who can
You
say?
invited it to cross the threshold.
I know.
Cody.
Yeah, I invited her into my home, and this is what happened. You know, I deserve what I get. I want to talk about a television program. Okay.
Finally.
Finally, yeah, it's been so long. And this show has been airing for now a couple weeks. I want to give it a little bit of time to, like, get its footing, you know, get its
Yeah.
muster, you know, see what's going on. And I'm very delighted to say that Next Gen NYC is that girl.
It's so important to
It's
me.
so good. Like, I was skeptical, like many of folk.
You have to be critical of media.
Right, and I was of course going to give it a shot because it has everything conceivably I would like in a Housewives-esque, spin-off-esque type thing, which is, what if we get a bunch of young 20-somethings living in New York, and some of them happen to be the children of Real Housewives stars, or, like, very famous people in, like, pop culture.
Right.
That's already a great sell. The way they were marketing this was, and still is, insufferable. Because it was like, we're gonna do all of our tweets in lowercase, because we're Gen Z and we're cool. And we're gonna, like, do captions in a way that is so almost illegible that it totally circumvents the necessity for subtitles, you know, like, at all. But, regardless of those things, the show has the juice in a way I was not expecting at all.
It is the only appropriate next step when you've had children on television
Yeah.
their whole lives.
Right.
To be like, well, this is my talent now. I need
Right.
to do something with it. You know, like, I've been on it since before I had a fully developed brain.
Right.
I got to make some money off of it. And you know what? You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Right, and like sometimes your mom is Kim Zolciak, and you have to get that money working because she allegedly
She's
took all
asking
of
you
your
for money. Yeah.
And she's still asking you for cash. So listen,
God.
I get it, right? And I think too, it's like such an interesting relationship between, like, you know, some of them are like have grew up being, you know, kids of housewives and like navigating that world together. Like Brooks, who was like was still like a teenager, like he wasn't like a kid, you know, but like was navigating that world in sort of a different way, and like has these sort of like friendships of, you know, like navigating that lifestyle, baby. And there's others where it's like, oh, we have the like 2 girls from Atlanta, from the original Atlanta series, who like haven't seen each other since they were like 7, right? You know what I mean? And being like, what is this world like? What's going on? And like that's interesting too, of like how this sort of trickles down to being somewhat of an influencer or some other kind of like celebrity in that regard while also being like a young person. Plus, also, like, the folks that aren't, like, the kids of housewives are nuts. Like, they're bringing
wild.
such a different energy that, like, I really appreciate. Because I feel like if it was all just one or the other, it would not be a good show. But the fact it's, like, this weird mix of both, very obviously, like, folks who have been, like, kids and, like, in the spotlight for a while, that wasn't really their choice, you know? Plus, also, these also young people who are not, but, like, also have privilege and wealth, and also are desperate for that kind of celebrity, you know, is fascinating. Because, like, we have Charlie, who is a nightmare. He should be arrested for something. He was allegedly around that crypto fucking weird crime thing. Don't know why that happened. Don't know why he was crashing there in a place where they allegedly tortured and kidnapped a guy. Don't know why that happened. Hello? Don't know why he's saying he dated, quote, Lindsay Lohan when he was a child. Don't know why he's saying that. Why was he the club king of New York City when he was 13 years old?
And also, like, there's only one person who's allowed to say that, and that's Drew Barrymore. So don't...
Right.
You can't...
Yeah, put some respect first of all.
Shit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, like, if you are not Serena van der Woodsing out here, I don't want to hear it, okay? Like, don't shit where you eat, alright? And also, I just love that Gia Giudice is just still in Jersey and being like, I am not going to New York City for you fools. Like, you can come to me and we can have a cute little party or whatever. Y'all can take the Sprinter van, you know? But I love that. I think that's a great energy.
I just know that someone at the higher level of Bravo they were struck by lightning when they had the idea of seeing all of the next generation of the Housewives kids. And they were like, we have to put them all in a room and get television. We have to get cameras in there. We have to put them on TV somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
And they were like, this is going to make us the big bucks. This isn't the best equivalent, but this show fills a little bit of the void for me of The Hills.
Yeah, for sure. Totally.
And it's not perfect, but of, like, all of these people who are so desperately out of touch. And I need that in a moment where we are living through another recession of, like, show me a world that is so not mine right now.
Right. Show me a girl who says she's self-made even though she grew up on the Upper West Side of New York City and also does not wash her hands and also made it a my body, my choice conversation. That's what I want to see. That's television, baby. Are you kidding?
We gotta have bread and circuses somewhere, you know?
This is my truth. How are you doing, my dude? I'm so excited to talk about this. Yeah.
Speaking of a show that also has really shitty captions.
Literally. Oh my god.
I'm so grateful to be able to talk about Love Island USA this week.
I'm glad it comes at a time when it's actually a happy thing. You know what I mean?
And that's why I needed to bring it, right?
Right, because every other day for the previous 3 weeks has been Bummer City.
And when we're recording this, I'm choosing to ignore last night's episode. It doesn't exist in my brain. I'm going to talk specifically about Megan Thee Stallion doing essentially Hurricane Hood relief.
Thank
on
God.
The villa. I've been aware of Love Island USA. I was there when they didn't have a budget and they were at the top of a hotel in Vegas. All right.
Yeah, sure.
It hasn't always been like this, where they've had money.
Yeah, they didn't always have like 3 Chappell Roan songs in an episode, you know?
Oh, God. This episode brought me so much joy. And I don't necessarily watch Love Island for joy. I'm aware.
Sure.
I know what I'm getting into. And I'm immensely grateful that because of this show, I started watching Love Island UK, which I still believe is the better one. But we're getting there.
Sure.
Meg, you beautiful, in touch woman, thank you for the joy that you brought this villa because the vibes were so off.
Yeah.
They were so bad, and getting to see all of these women smile because of you, specifically the loves of my life, Shelley and Alondria.
Ugh. When Alondria was like, "Oh my god, you know my name."
The way that Meg was asking about Alondria's ass, if Megan knew not only me, but was asking me about my ass, you couldn't tell me shit.
Right.
Ever.
Absolutely.
It was a very important day. It was a very important challenge. I'm choosing, as always with Love Island, to ignore the men.
Yes.
For my health and well-being. Not only in general, but specifically because 2 of them have razor burn, because I have discovered that they are using the same razor for their bits as their face, and
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm done. Nick.
Uh-oh.
I know Nick for sure, and I also think Austin.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so done. I can't.
What?
The season's a mess.
Yeah.
I am aware that the producers like to vilify women of color.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also aware that Huda is a mess and is displaying a lot of manipulative tactics.
Yeah.
She's also very memeable.
Yeah, and that face card. You know what I mean?
I don't know anyone is denying that she is hot as hell.
Yeah.
I will say for myself, at 24, I was a mess. And I was very unhealed. So I always take that with a grain of salt when I'm watching these people of like, I am going to judge you.
Sure.
I am going to critique you because you did willingly sign up for this show. I am also aware that I was not better than you.
Yeah.
At that age.
Yeah, it just feels like, listen, I could talk about the Huda situation for the next 45 minutes. I will not do that. However,
I mean, fuck this show. I don't want to talk about this episode.
Yeah, I agree that I think she's very much crashing out in a way that is not good for her or for anyone else here, and maybe some sort of intervention, or at least just like people actually like having genuine conversations with her in a way that's not like her gonna fly off the handle, right, would be beneficial. However, it seems like it's well past the point for everyone else to do that, you know? So it's just like, we're gonna let this burn out, you know? And like, whatever. That's what you gotta do if that's you protecting your peace, whatever. I just feel like a lot of like the online discourse is really toxic, of like now making it seem like Jeremiah is this fucking saint when he's also psychotic.
Also not. Yeah.
And also like erasing or weaponizing the fact that like she is a mother and was a teen mom and like has had to be an adult in whatever way that exists,
right,
out of force and at a very young age. And, you know, God forbid a woman just have a crash out and like, you know, just like wants to find love and thinks she find it day one. Obviously incorrect, but just being like trying to have a hot, sexy girl summer, and then shit's happening to you. And like, you're also really defensive and protective and unhealed by a lot of stuff going
very
on.
Unhealed.
Not that it's an excuse, but like it is context that is important and relevant to like how she is operating and navigating through this thing, which I think a lot of people are just like disregarding in a way that like does not serve the actual argument here that is worthy of critique, you know?
100%. I think that a lot of the behaviors, not just her, right? A lot of the behaviors are very unhealed. And that is why I can see her and be like, listen, if at any age you would put me on television, I would have displayed very similar behaviors. Yeah. Like, so I get it and I see what you're doing. It is not, I can empathize there, but also the two of them are not good together and they're feeding off of each other. Yep. So that makes it rough. Do I see why the producers are keeping them there? Because it is good television? Yeah, of course. It is very Ronnie Sam. So I get it. Yeah. Like, I
let's not forget our history here.
100%. Yeah. I think that it was very funny, at least last night. So Friday's episode, when she was like, I haven't been talking to people for a minute. Do I still have it? It has literally been 4 days. My girl. Yeah. Girl. What are you talking?
It's okay, girl.
Talking about? You're acting like you haven't, been on a dating app in 10 years. Like, let's chill for a second. I love Love Island. It is so funny to watch and see people interact with each other. Being able to have someone like Megan Thee Stallion come in and be like, we need to change the vibes. Everyone needs to shake their ass and move for a little bit was very helpful to adjust.
Yeah.
I think what I will say to wrap this is what I love most about Love Island is being able to watch a television show with a community.
Totally.
Even though a lot of people's takes are things I disagree with.
Dog shit. Yeah.
I think what I enjoy most about it is being able to have an almost nightly occurrence watching something where I know a vast majority of people are also tuning in, and it feels like a communal experience, which I appreciate. It is very rare. So that part is nice, even though some of y'all, holy shit, I don't know that we're watching the same show.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. But thank you, Love Island. You're a mess. We have current events. Some very quick updates, I would say. Mainly some movie news at the start. Do you want to kick us off?
Absolutely. Pew, 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 pew. We got 2 movie release dates / streaming premieres out here on these streets. First of which is Die My Love, the Lynn Ramsey, Robert Pattinson, Jennifer Lawrence motion picture that was at Cannes. Got picked up by Mubi, and it is now going to have a fall release date of November 7th. I would presume also would be on Mubi shortly after that.
That is faster than I expected.
Right, yeah, we're getting it this year, so that's huge. That's huge. Very into that. Was purchased for 24 million smacks at Cannes, which is that's big money. I will say though, crucial to note that Mubi's going under a little bit of controversy currently.
Oh,
so
why?
The timing is not great. Because they got a $100 million investment from Sequoia Capital, which is a big bad investment firm that also has funded like an Israeli defense tech startup. Like there's anything with those sort of hedge fund kind of things, there's like some pretty dubious and not great stuff they're putting money into. So people are not super happy, understandably, with Mubi. I think they've like said anything meaningful in response, but there is some drama.
Okay, well, rip.
Yeah.
If they could swap it over to Tubi.
Right. Yeah.
Was it a typo? Maybe?
Right. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe Deadline had it wrong.
Deadline, fix it.
Yeah, come on. It's the streaming service of the people, Tubi. Although I hate saying that because it is also owned by Fox Corp. So really we can't have shit in this house. You know what I mean?
If we think too hard, it all goes back to like Coca-Cola.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It goes back to 5 people. So it's like, what? I can't. I can't do the math right now. It's not. But this is still exciting. It's going to be in theaters this fall. And that's great. We're going to see Robert Pattinson try to dance, ? It's going to be great. Oh, yeah. We also have a update for a movie I completely forgot about until just now, which is Love Me, which is the K-Stu, Stephen Yeun, multiverse / buoys / going through the existence of Earth and Time, romantic drama, whatever movie. That is now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Okay, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So we will definitely be watching that.
I love that. I'm very excited. The last piece here, thank you, Screen Rant, for this, is not necessarily news, but it is relevant to the content that we're discussing, which is that apparently there's some scuttlebutt about Vampire Diaries getting another sort of spin-off right now. But one of the co-creators, Kevin Williamson, is not going to be part of the project. And this author, Mary Castle, is reporting on it. There was apparently an interview with Ash Crossman, and they were like, okay, so Kevin, give us the hot goss. What's going on? There's talk about this being a spin-off, and Kevin was like, I'm not involved. I have no idea what's going on. Leave me out of this. Take me off this reply all. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm confused on. What do you mean there's going to be another spin-off? Is this just an idea that someone had while they were high?
Right. Is this a thing that anyone's actually meaningfully talking about?
Right. Or was it just, oh, that'd be a cool idea, and then no one has said anything more? Because didn't y'all just have 2 spin-offs? We know about the originals.
Mm-hmm.
We just saw the pilot for it. But I also know that there's another one, apparently, of legacies. So they've just happened in the last decade or so. Why do you want more? There's been no time in between them. I have questions. Let people want this. Let it breathe. And maybe that's why Kevin was like, no, thank you.
I think I found where this came from. Because I guess Julie Plec, a couple months ago, said at a premiere of another show that she's doing that she has, like, a story she still wants to tell.
God, okay.
And I think people took that as, like, oh my god, confirmed, when it seems like most all of the cast has said they're kind of done with the Vampire Diaries. Who knows? Who knows if this is actually something that will be a thing, more than someone being like, hey, that was a successful show that I could make more of because there's 8,000 books, you know?
Right.
Which, like, fair, you know? But, like, who knows?
Who's to say that Julie's not just going to go on AO3 and just tap into some creative energy?
Also, quick question for Screen Rant. Why do you have a generate an AI summary of the story on your web pages now?
Screen Rant.
I know y'all pay people like $10 for these things. Why are we adding robots? Like, what are we doing here?
Screen Rant, your articles are arguably some of the easiest to skim because of the way that you have people write them.
Right.
They're so easy to digest. Why the fuck would I need a summary of them?
You are very good at summarizing things on the air. Like, you already got that locked down. You know what I mean? Like, that's your skill set here. What are we doing?
Screen Rant, you are arguably a summary space.
Yeah.
Don't piss me off.
You are the aggregate. That's the thing. Like, it's aggregating an aggregate. What this is an Ouroboros. What's going on?
Why do I need a photocopy of a photocopy? Screen Rant. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, dog.
So this episode, huh?
Dude.
I'm
so pissed off. I'm so pissed off.
You know that fucking meme where it's like, we're so back, oh shit, like it goes on that S curve?
No.
That was me this whole time.
We had so many peaks and valleys here. Like, there were high highs and devastatingly low lows. Versus fucking whiplash. Fucking whiplash.
I should have known when we started off with that needle drop that we were going to be in for a ride.
When you start an episode with Nina Dobrev fucking training, fucking getting her reps in to Sail by AWOLNATION, I'm locked the fuck in. I'm gonna start working out with her. I'm gonna fight God.
Before dialogue, the first thing that you make me hear is Sail. Mm-hmm. Not the song, just Sail. The word.
Yeah.
I need a cigarette.
Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful time capsule. I love 2013.
I will say, this is the penultimate, right? Like, so if I'm having this level of my Apple Watch warning me of, like, you need to chill the fuck out, and we still have to watch them graduate next week, I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it. I don't think I can do this.
Well, we know one of them's not, presumably, and I'm pissed.
Don't be fucking crass. Don't be crass.
No, I'm so done because I have warned from the jump that.
Yep, we knew.
But it can't be the one, right? Like, this can't be.
I
this
don't
can't
know,
be her final.
Regardless, if it is actually, it's or if it's not, it's like a fucked up way to go, right? But, like, also because they gave us a fake out once before in this episode, and then they had one with, like, a little bit more finality to it, I don't have high hopes. I am hoping, but Because, God, right before graduation. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's
They can't
so
take my girl
sick.
out like that. They can't do that. Because I was worried when it was like, you know, her and Catherine were mind melding or whatever the fuck. And Elena was like, haha, my one true passion is killing Catherine. I'm going to do that. Not realizing that, you know, Bonnie's being fucking waterboarded by through osmosis out here. And I was like, fuck, no, this can't be how she goes. This can't be how she goes.
I should have known last week when we got Elena being like, this is my truth, as I'm gonna kill Catherine. And I thought it was suspicious because it's like, oh, well, that's obvious. Like, she hates herself for everything that's happened.
Yeah.
So, and I can't kill myself, so I'm gonna kill the one person conveniently that has my face, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So I was like, well, that, you know, like, that seems a little on the nose, but sure, you know, like, let's go kill Catherine. But then to find out that Bonnie's put her on a toddler leash in the mall.
Yep.
And that's what's going to happen, Elena. You're going to go try and kill the person that has your face, and then you're going to kill your best friend.
Yeah. Come on now.
Sick work. Hate that.
Yeah.
You already tried a couple episodes ago to hurt Bonnie, and look where that got you.
Yeah. Have we learned nothing here about friendship and about the people that do a lot of things for you, even when you maybe don't deserve it? You know?
I will say it was funny to watch Bonnie and Catherine interact.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to get some giggles this episode, and I did with that.
Yeah, their banter was fun. I did enjoy it.
I appreciated it. It didn't have to be funny, but it was, and I was thankful to get some giggles in.
I will say too, I loved there was a moment when Elena and Damon are chatting and stuff, and you think for a second that maybe Elena's having like a change of heart, right? Of being like, you know what, like, what if Catherine is the answer? Because if I kill her, then like maybe all of my fear and all of my trauma will go away with her, you know, kind of stuff. And it feels like, oh, honey, sweetie, poopsie baby, like, love you. That's not how this works, but like, I see where you're coming from, and maybe it's like a real thing to you in that moment. And then it's like immediately stakes him, and it's like, psych, fuck you, bitch, I'm gonna go kill her. It's like, no, we were so close. We were so close to the ledge here. God damn it.
I loved that moment so much because you could tell that Damon didn't really have the resolve to say no to Elena because he can never say no to her.
Right.
This dude, his Achilles heel. And at first, I didn't see the stake, so I thought Elena just punched him really hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck him. Absolutely. Meanwhile, there's like a biblical storm happening outside. It's like,
no, literally.
It's like true tornado city out there. It's nuts.
So to find out that it was a stake was great, but I had fully just thought she like super punched him, and that was just as funny to me.
She was powered by AWOLNATION and Sail. She had that rushing through her bloodstream and just gave him one big sucker punch.
Oh God, Damon wasn't wrong though, because he was like, listen, you can't go down into the super basement and go find Catherine, because when you kill her, then all your emotions that you've been suppressing are going to come up, and then what, right? And she's like, well, listen, what if I kill her and then actually everything's fine? And he's like, girl.
It's like, hear me out. What if I'm totally cured and healed after that? Because if I kill the one thing I'm focused on, then that's my one problem. My problem solved. I have no other problem.
It's just so funny to say that of all people to Damon. It's just like, all right.
Right. It's like, I've played this song before. You know, I know what you're doing. Absolutely not.
Damon has tried that. He's tried killing people to see if it'll solve his emotions. That's not going to work, but love you for trying, actually.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. Everyone shut up. Okay. So I'm going to talk about Sail one more time because I'm actually not over it.
Sure.
The one thing I'm going to say about Sail that I think I appreciate about the Vampire Diaries, but also made me jealous, is that this is a CW show that has, to my knowledge anyways, all of the original music that aired with the show originally. That is not the case with Supernatural. And it makes me really sad that Supernatural currently lives on Netflix. You're on my fucking watch list. But that is a show that CW made intentionally with music, and I would say is the same thing with the Vampire Diaries.
Yes.
But when you rip music like that out, you lose a lot of the meaning. And it made me think about like how if you would swapped out, Sale in this moment, it wouldn't have been as funny, but there are a lot of shows like that now where we put them on streaming services and they don't have the licensing for it.
Yeah, if you try to watch Skins UK right now, it is a different show. There is actually no way to watch that show with all the music in it, not even like the DVD. It's a totally different show.
And it's a legitimate problem, right? Because
totally, yeah.
At least and the one that immediately came to mind for me, because I know that this is a problem between streaming and the DVDs, the only way to watch the original show where the music actually makes the moments is on the DVDs of it.
Yeah.
And that's true now, right? Like if they lose the licensing on those, then that might not even be true in the future. And it's such a bummer that that is the case when there are people who make shows and have this creative mind of like, I'm putting in this specific song. It is making it for this moment. And if for some reason these networks get stingy with money, like they can, which is gross, and they just plop in a fuck all song, then the show itself loses meaning there. And it kills me, because to think that, Skins is a great example there, because you don't get the same experience, and it would be a bummer to watch that show and think that you have a negative interpretation with it. And it's like, no, but you didn't experience it the way that you were supposed to.
Yeah.
It kills me.
God.
It makes me so sad. It just reminded me when Sale happened, because I was like, you could just put like a different kind of rock song and it would be funny there. But we've talked about quite a few needle drops, especially in some of the like emotional, tender moments, where if you just popped in like a royalty-free song there, it wouldn't hit as hard. It's just, back in my day,
yeah, God,
it kills me. I need to talk about Caroline.
Yeah.
I was not expecting Silas to do her dirty again when we just had this happen.
Yeah.
Like an episode ago. And I want to know what Silas's fucking beef with Caroline is.
Yeah. It was personal last episode, but now it's like really targeted in a way that is like, what the fuck did she do to you?
And I could have written off last time that Silas is like a cab, right?
Yeah, right, sure.
And you know what? I know that you're supposed to be the Antichrist, but sure, you can have a value. I'll stand with you on that. But now I know that it's not that. It's actually that he hates Caroline, and I need to know what your deal is. Because there are a lot of things that you could have compelled Caroline to do that would not have been self-harm. Why? Why do we constantly have to hurt my girls? You hurt Caroline and Bonnie this episode? Why? For what?
Yeah. For why?
The only benefit, I will say, is that we did get to see Rebecca slap the shit out of Caroline.
Dude.
To get her out of it.
Like, come on. Like, I know you're in a weird mental, like, thing that's not your own creation, and that sucks. But, like, snap out of it. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It was very good. Rebecca was kind of, I don't know, a throwaway this episode for me. She didn't have a lot going on. I will say, I did have to write this down. Earlier on in the episode, before the power went off, Elena having to acknowledge the Thelma and Louise, their words, not mine, Thelma and Louise of her and Rebecca was very important.
Yeah.
Because you gotta talk, I mean, you have to acknowledge it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Rebecca just being like, so what are we, actually?
Yeah, like, what is this?
It was very, it was very important to me. I know that I had asked about this for the last, like, 2 episodes ago, and to get the answer felt very unsatisfactory for me this episode. That Silas just wants to die so that he doesn't have to live in purgatory with all the creatures coming back, and so that he can go live with his witch girlfriend. That's it?
Yeah. Like, all this, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a little unsatisfactory, to be honest.
Yeah, like, we've also just, like, never known a lot about Silas outside of, like, you know, the projection of him through Shane being like in this like sort of mythos, right, of him and stuff and all that. So it also just feels like very like, I think it just, they realize it's like, oh, this is kind of like the big bad here, and we kind of don't have a lot of runway, nor do we like care a lot about like what he wants really in a way that's actually like compelling or worth all of the trouble that's going on. You know, it just feels very like, okay, we're phoning this in a little bit at the end here, which is maybe not the way to do that, but sure.
I found that really disappointing too, that it felt a little anticlimactic the way that Bonnie was able to defeat him.
Yeah.
Especially because his last moments of confronting Bonnie were some of the scariest that he's ever been.
So nasty. So
of nasty. Being like, I don't... Bonnie... It was so funny. Silas being like, Bonnie, it's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business. I have... Literally. You thought I was disfigured? No, I have been anything I've wanted to.
Yeah.
Be. I've been in your head this whole time. What the fuck?
Ugh, I hate him.
That's so scary. And then to just make it very anticlimactic that it's like, oh, I Medusa'd you again. Haha. What?
Yeah, like, okay, sure.
What do you mean? You are incredibly terrifying as a villain, very scary, but you're that easy to put back into stone?
Right. It's like, all right, don't have to worry about that anymore. Da, 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 da. It's like, what? Okay, that's all we had to do? And again, I think, too, it was like, you know, I guess it was good for Bonnie to have that moment and be like, girl, you can do this. You can do anything. Like, I don't always love, you know, using the full breadth of powers, right? But sometimes that's all you gotta do and stuff. And to be like, yeah, I am that girl. And then that works, but then being like, oh, I got this permission and also I got, like, validation for doing that and, like, you know, letting my freak flag fly and doing my shit out here. So what if I just do it one more time? What if I just hit it one more time so I can save my boy, our best friend, Jeremy? And it's like, no, girl, no, that was the one. You had one shot. Like, we don't have to try it again. We have to double our luck here. No.
I was very confused by this whole thing because I was under the interpretation, by the way they were explaining dropping the veil, that it was going to be worldwide.
Yeah.
I'm glad that didn't happen, but it was just within the triangle.
Right. And it was also like folks who had unfinished business. Like some people were just like, nah,
there were a lot of qualifications.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, again, not a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
But it did feel like Silas was building this up.
Yeah.
And then when it came down to it, it was just a deflating balloon flying across the room. It was like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it's like, hey, who are the character actors we can get back?
No,
in the quickest amount of time that we all know and love.
We thought it was going to be 500 extras coming across this field, and we got 4.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they all hit.
Was happy to see all of them. Don't get it twisted.
There was a lot of fine print that was not communicated at the jump.
They were hyping it as, like, end of days. Like, this is gonna, it's gonna fuck everything up. It's like, oh, it's in this tiny location. It's also folks who want to come out just for a little bit and say, hey, and that's it. Like, oh, okay, that's really different than what you said. Okay, sure.
I will say at first, when Rick showed up, I did think that it was Silas.
Yeah.
And that further solidified for me when we found out that they were going to be doing the ritual underneath the school.
Mm-hmm.
When he showed up to Damon, oh my god, the locker, Cody.
Yeah, when he's like, does Silas know about the locker where we store booze in?
Where we do crimes?
Where we do crimes? Where do we just hang out, like, dude stuff? God. He needs him so bad in his life. He's so lost without him.
They're just soulmates. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Yeah. They will find each other in any universe. They're always gonna be each other's boys. Ugh.
I love that most of the people that we saw had unfinished business of like, oh, I want to hang out with you and make sure that you know that I'm okay. And then fucking Cole kicks down the door of the grill and is like, oh no, my unfinished business is that I'm gonna kill Elena.
Right, like, I'm gonna run down the clock here and see what we can do in this amount of time. Okay, yeah, everyone else is just having, like, a nice little, like, closure moment, or just, like, one last little conversation, just, like, a little, you know, saying goodbye kind of stuff. And Cole's in there like, I'm gonna fuck all of you up. I swear to God, you give me one shot, I'm gonna fucking torch this place in the ground, motherfuckers.
It was so good. It's just like, Cole can read the room. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's gonna show up in the cemetery when Elena is crying at Jeremy's grave and is like, no, I'm gonna kill you right here, actually.
Yeah.
It was so sick, where I am getting so emotional watching Nina crying over this grave, and Cole is absolutely beating the shit out of her. She's not fighting back.
Yeah.
And he's like, kill me. I want you to. And he's like, damn it, play with me. Yeah. Fight back. Come on. I'm dying. I hate this.
I can't.
And because Grams also came back, like you said. She had unfinished business. Right. And with the last time that we saw Grams was the fake Grams. That was Silas. Right. So I'm very happy for Bonnie that she got to see real Grams of like, I'm proud of you right now. You're going to fuck all this up in a second, but I'm proud of you right now. What I loved about the moment with Cole and Elena, though, was like, Elena just being like, listen, you're going to do me a favor. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of all of this. And my boy, love of my life, comes back and is like, how many fucking times do I have to kill you?
Yeah, come on, bitch. Jeez. Didn't y'all learn the first time? Come on.
I can't. Here's my question for you.
Yeah.
What did you think about Stefan pouting, thinking that Lexi didn't come back for him?
Like, okay, first of all, grow up, right? First of all, just across the board, grow up. Because, like, you just witnessed a really beautiful moment of, like, Elena finally, like, getting her shit somewhat together and being like, I'm gonna have time with my brother and actually grieve or, like, start that process, you know? Which is a hard thing to do, and something she has been pushing off forever, you know? And that's a beautiful thing. Damon's out here with his boyfriend, having beers.
Having Rick fix his car or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these things. Everyone's having, like, a little thing. And then Stefan's like, wah. Like, I was kind of waiting for someone. I was hoping that someone was gonna come in. And, yeah, because Caroline's like, why are you being such a fucking, like, loser? Like, what? Why are you sad? This was a good day. I mean, it was a bad day, but it was still, like, relatively fine, all things considered. Got some closure for things. And he's like, wah, whatever. And Lexi comes through, it's like, bitch, you were looking for me? Which is very cute.
It was cute.
What's going on, Steph? Like, can we just take a breather here for a minute? God damn.
He was very petty this episode. He deserved when Elena socked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
She wasn't right to do it, but she also wasn't wrong. I found that moment when Lexi and Stefan were walking around weird.
Yeah, and her being like, oh, you've replaced me with another blonde?
For what?
Excuse me?
What?
You mean
Why
Caroline?
Are we wasting time on this?
Who's a lesbian, mind you?
Right.
Excuse me. What? What do you mean?
Lexi, are you also a lesbian?
Right. Right.
I'm confused. That felt very forced.
Yeah. They're definitely setting up, like, something, which is, I don't love. Don't love that.
I also didn't love it. The only moments that I liked where Stefan and Caroline were together this episode was when it was Silas. And
literally,
I will say, because it wasn't them. I liked it when Silas was pretending to be Caroline. That was very good. Unfortunately, loved Silas as Rick. Because goddamn can that actor play a bad guy so well.
Yeah. When he can lock in like that, it's so good. So good.
I forgot how much I love it. And that is bad. For me, is bad. I will say, the moment with Damon and Rick at the end, when he was fixing his car, which, like, Damon, this man, He's about to cross the veil. What are you doing?
Yeah, he has like
He's not
20
your
seconds
TaskRabbit.
left on this plane of existence. Like,
The moment where Rick is like, I thought you were going to take care of the children. Yay. Do they know this legal?
I know. Yeah, do they know? Do they know? I also, like, one single tear when that happened. Because also Damon's too being like, who told you that? Like, you heard that? Ew, gross. Like, no, definitely not. And it's like, you are walking in his footsteps, my guy. You are trying to be Daddy Rick out here, okay?
Literally.
And, like, it's cute. It's cute. I love it. Just don't ignore it, you know?
What are they going to do with that cure, by the way?
God, I don't even fucking, like, at this point, I don't know.
I mean, Rebecca obviously wants it.
Yeah, like, just, I don't understand. Listen, I know the Elena thing's a problem, but, like, Rebecca wants it more. I think Rebecca has a stronger case for it, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
Let her cook, you know?
I'm very concerned with what happened at the end. I mean, for the biggest reason of, like, Bonnie's dead. Like, she said, I'm dead.
Yeah, right.
And, girl, like, would I also do that for Jeremy? Obviously. But, like,
Yeah.
we need you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yikes. But I couldn't tell. It seemed like the veil, like, flickered, went back, and then, like, went down for good. Because we saw Rebecca's boyfriend, and then the hunter, the hot hunter, and then the other hunter popped back up, which is not good. Because they, no thank you.
Yeah.
So that's not good. The fact that they think they have reasons to be there is troubling.
Yeah. Ugh.
Bad for the show, but I do love to watch those two, you know?
Yeah,
So I don't necessarily mind. I need someone to spoil it for me. Not everything. I just need to know, like, is this for good? Like, is Bonnie gone for good? Because I know it happens at some point.
Yeah.
But if I have to watch 4 more fucking seasons of this show without her, first of all, how do they survive? You know what I mean? Like, she saves them every episode, so they're gonna have to find a new witch. But I'm just scared and sad. But apparently next episode, the season finale, we get to channel High School Musical 3 with the graduation.
And thank God. Nothing will be bad here. Everything will go according to plan. They're all gonna walk and be in their cap and gowns, and that's it. The episode's over.
Here's my concern. I know that Matt did mention this episode of, like, he does want to graduate as a human.
Mm-hmm.
Fair pursuit.
Sure.
My concern with this photo that we see here of them in their caps and gowns is that Bonnie is going to come back as a white man. And I'm...
Oh, no.
I'm so afraid, because who the fuck is this random dude?
Yeah, who is this guy?
I've never seen this man in my life.
Yeah.
We get a photo with all these
Hard
cast members,
bang.
and instead of it being Rebecca in the photo, who is this guy? Who's this extra? I'm so scared.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so nervous. We have some amazing patrons to thank. Would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Greg Lautner.
Ooh, thank you to April Dobrev.
Ooh, thank you to Sean Salvatore.
Ooh, thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ow. Thank you to Katia Karp.
Ooh, thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ooh, thank you to Janae Bennett.
Ooh, thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh, thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ow. Thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ooh, and last, but certainly not least, thank you to Jaylene Ivishkov.
Pew, pew, pew.
I have a fanfiction summary for you today. This is by the author King Wilhelm III.
Okay.
It is titled Blood in the Moonlight. And I hope that you all are missing Teen Wolf, because this is a crossover with Vampire Diaries and Teen Wolf. The summary is: Stefan Salvatore can't cope with the challenges presented by Mystic Falls anymore. Drunk-ass Damon stealing his girl, the arrival of his old friend, Klaus, and his dysfunctional family, and Catherine, who keeps teasing him. The Ripper can't take it anymore, so he decided it's time for a change of scenery. A town in Northern California. Surely nothing weird about it. And then there's an ellipses.
Okay.
I have found when looking at fan fictions, there are a lot of crossovers with the Vampire Diaries and Teen Wolf.
Yeah. I see the vision. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm imagining just because of the werewolf of it all.
Yeah.
But I have not thought about that show in years. I'm going to be real with you. So if that is of interest, just dig your teeth into that, folks. Enjoy it.
Wow. What a treat.
We are going to be putting out another bonus episode very soon.
Yes.
So get excited.
Yeah, get into it.
Tell your friends about the show. Tell your family about the show.
Mm-hmm.
Get excited. Enjoy all of the things that Peacock has to offer.
Yes.
There's great things on there right now.
Yeah.
And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
Get bit.
ooh.
Ow. You've been listening to Into the Twilight, an independent production by Earbud Media. You can support the show by subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/intothetwilight, or rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. You can send us a backstory or a fanfiction at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. Our music is by Eli Krause, and our art is by Maddie Padilla. You can find me on Twitter at Cody Corral and Allie at Many Are the Stars. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.